ahead and get started. It is 9 o'clock, and I want to respect your time and get you out of here as quickly as possible. So welcome, and thank you so much again for joining the Enid Public Schools family. We are thrilled that you are going to be a part of our group of teachers, and you're certified, so we'll just get started. At this time, you should have completed all of your Talent Ed records tasks. And when you leave here today, Shannon and Amy will let you know if there's something that you are missing. The only thing that should really be left is your certified benefits meeting, and you will sign off at the end of today that yes, you attended that. So we'll get that all done. We have to have all of your stuff in so that we can get you paid in September. If we don't have all of your tasks completed, then you won't get a September paycheck. And if you signed up for the 13-month paycheck, if we don't have everything in, then we won't be able to get you that. So make sure we get all of those tasks completed. Forms of identification. The IRS requires us to physically lay eyes on your Social Security card and your driver's license. So if you will take those out of your purse or wallet, at this moment, Shannon and Amy will come around, they'll pick those up, go make some copies, and then bring them right back to you. Social Security card and driver's license, please. You don't even need to tear that off. If you want to leave it on there, she'll just take the whole thing and bring it right back. It's easier to keep track of on a big piece of paper. You don't have your Social Security card on you. Just bring it by my office, let us see it, make a copy, and we'll give it right back to you. So, figures, my kid. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we still have to put our eyes on it. Sorry. Yeah. Internal Revenue Service. All right, while they're finishing collecting those, let's talk about fingerprinting. This has to be so confusing for new folks sometimes. You have to have your fingerprints done twice. Once you do them for us, Enid Public Schools, your employer. We'll pay for that one. So you have to get a code from Amy or Shannon so that we will pay for it. If you pay for it out of your pocket, we cannot reimburse you. So if you are getting your fingerprints done for employment purposes with us, we will pay for it. You've got to have the code, and Amy and Shannon will take care of giving that to you. The second set of fingerprints you need for your certification. That set goes to the State Department of Education. Some of you were being emergency certified, and I sent you an email that said, you're being emergency certified, we're ready for you to go get your fingerprints done for the State Department. That one you are responsible for paying for. If you're not being emergency certified and you're just applying for standard certification, you had a teaching certificate in Colorado and you're applying for a teaching certificate in the state of Oklahoma, you have to have the background check. So you'll have to have one set for us that we pay for, one set for the State Department that you pay for.
Are those done in the same place?
They are done in the same place. They both can be done at the mail room downtown, just as you approach, the square. It's kind of over by Blue Jay's Barber Shop in that area, just on Grand. And so you can get them both done there. Official transcripts. We have to have official transcripts. That means that they either need to be sent to us, straight to us from your university, or if you get them mailed to you, leave them in the envelope sealed with the little stamp across the back, because that's what makes them official to us. So we have to have a copy of your official transcripts in our office, and then the State Department of Ed, we upload those for our emergency certified folks. If you are applying to have your certificate transferred, or you've graduated from college and met all of the requirements, the State Department has to have your official transcripts also. So if you're not emergency certified, it's your responsibility to get your official transcripts to the State Department of Education. That makes a difference on your pay at the beginning, because until you are a certified teacher and you have your certificate, we cannot pay you on the certified teacher pay scale, which means you get the $91 a day that your contract's talking about. So the sooner you can get everything into the State Department, even if you don't have the physical copy in your hand, and I can see it on the State Department of Ed that it's in process, it's been approved, it's being mailed, we can get you on that certified pay scale. So if you haven't taken care of the things that you need to at the State Department, please do so as quickly as possible so that your first paycheck reflects a real certified teacher pay, not a substitute pay. When you receive your certificate, my office has to have a copy of that. So you bring off just the bottom portion to us, and we put that in your file. We have to have that on file while you're teaching for us. Then at some point, if you should choose to leave the district, we'll return that to you after you've checked out. But we have to have that in our office. So read the contract. The 21-22 certified negotiated contract has been approved. We are a district that negotiates with our Enid Education Association. So that has been approved at the July school board meeting. It is posted on the Enid Public Schools website. There's lots of information in there as to your rights and sick leave and FMLA and maternity leave and all those kinds of things. So you'll want to read the contract, and there's a link to it on the Clever page. So when you pull up your Clever page, when you first log into your computer, there's a link on there to it. Or you can just go to the Enid Public Schools website and find the certified negotiated contract. In your folder, Amy and Shannon have given you a school calendar with all of the holidays and those kinds of things. But we also post on the website employee work calendars. So if you have someone that says, I don't know if I work tomorrow or not, the employee work calendars are up there. Teachers are 184 days. You're pretty cut and dry. But if you have a teacher assistant who works in your classroom with you and they're not sure if they come to work on a PD day or things, those employee work calendars for everybody, administrators, down to our custodians, those are all posted on the website. Years of service. We at Enid Public Schools want to recognize any out-of-state service records that you have, or if you've worked at private school inside of the state of Oklahoma but it's accredited, we can give you credit for those years of service, and that will move you up on that teacher pay scale. But it's your responsibility to download the form that's available from the State Department of Education, and if you're a member of the new teacher Facebook group, I posted a link to it in there. So you can download that, print that, get that to your, or you can email it to the districts that you've worked for, and then they submit that to the State Department and will get you your years of credit. As long as it's on the State Department of Education website, then we at Enid Public Schools, even though the state will only give you 5 years, we recognize all of your years, and that will really bump you up on the pay scale if you're coming with some other out-of-state or other accredited schools experience. Sick leave transfer. Also, if you're coming to us from a different school district, there is a sick leave transfer. We will accept your sick leave that you perhaps accumulated from a different school district. And so you'll have to ask that school district to let us know at Enid Public Schools how many sick leave days you had left, and we will credit those to you. We at Enid Public Schools will allow you to use up to 85 of your sick leave days in a year, but if you have more than that, those go towards your retirement at some point, and then also when you retire from the district, we will purchase back some of those unused days. So sick leave transfer. Attendance, of course, matters. It matters to you, and it matters so much to your students. And that's really who we're focused on, is our kiddos. And so when you have to be gone, we ask that you prepare in advance for your substitute, that you enter your absence in frontline ASOP management so that we can try to get you a substitute teacher. Your principals will always want to know if you need to be gone. Sometimes they'll ask you, they'll tell you, oh, you can text me any time of the day or night. I didn't care if my teacher's texting me at 3:45 in the morning, I'm throwing up, I'm going back to bed. Didn't bother me, usually didn't wake me up. Some administrators are like, please don't text me till after 6. So your principal will kind of let you know what they prefer. Please follow the things that they've established for you. Personal days, if you need to take a personal day, those are for, like you have you're closing on a house and you need to take a personal day so that you can get that done at the bank and those kinds of things, something that you absolutely can't take care of at another time, you can request a personal day from your administrator. There is a form at the back of the negotiated contract or in your principal's offices that you fill out requesting that personal day. Have a conversation with your principal about my sister's getting married and she picked a day that I'm in school and I really need to go because I'm a bridesmaid. You're going to want to request that personal day, and so as soon as you know that those events or things are happening that you need those personal days, the sooner you can request those from your principals and they approve them, and then you put them into the ASOP system after they've approved them, the better the chances are that you get a substitute for your classroom. So if you know that those things are coming up, same goes for sick leave. If you know that in September you have a doctor's appointment, it is not too early to tell your principal, hey, I have a doctor's appointment into September, I'm going to put it in ASOP. They'll say, great, because the sooner you get them in, substitutes can pick days way out. So please get those in. And this year, Enid Public Schools has a buyback program. If you only use 2 of your sick leave days and you don't use any of your personal days or emergency days, Enid Public Schools in June next year will give you a check for $300. If you only use 2 of your sick leave days and you have to use 1 personal day because your sister's getting married and you can't miss that, but you have your 4 days left, because in Enid Public Schools we give you 3 personal days and 2 emergency days. So if you have 4 of those days left, any kind of combination, we will give you a check for $200. If you have 3 of those days left and you've only used 2 sick leave days, we'll give you a check in June to spend on summer vacation for $100. So just a thank you for being at school, making sure your kiddos are taken care of. The employee payroll portal, this little M at the top, we use the municipal accounting system. That is where you can find your pay stub. So on September 19th, you wonder, how much am I going to get paid in my direct deposit tomorrow? You can find your pay stub at this municipal accounting. There is a link to this on our Clever page. So you can get on, log on. It's a different login than everything else you do, and that login for that will be sent to you through your school mail. In every school, there's teacher mailboxes, and so you'll get an envelope from the business office that will have your login information to this, so make sure you open that mail and reset those passwords so that you'll remember what it is, because it's usually some crazy kind of number or something. Timesheet information. There could be, on occasion, certified employees that are asked to do a lunch duty, come before school and supervise kids. Those things we pay you for, but you have to fill out a paper timesheet. There's not a place where you electronically clock in and clock out for those kinds of situations that your principal may have asked you to do. So your principal's office will have paper timesheets. A lot of my teachers used to tape them up beside their desk. When they finished lunch duty, they wrote their time in there. Then at the end of the month, sign their timesheet, take it down to their principal's office. We like to have those into the principal's office the first day of the next month, because they have to get them into the business office by the 5th. And so they have to sign those, do some calculations of the time on there, and get those into central office by the 5th. So if you can get those taken care of and turned into your principal on the first of every month when they ask you to do extra duties. That will help us out in the business office. Talent Ed records. You can change your information. If you have gotten a new cell phone and you need to give the district your new cell phone number, there is a change of information form on Talent Ed records where you've been taking care of all of your onboarding tasks. Why would it be important to give Enid Public Schools your new cell phone number? Because what if we have a snow day in October like we did last year, and you've changed your cell phone number? You won't get the call that there's no school if we don't have the correct phone number. So it's important that you give us your correct cell phone number, you give us your correct address if we need to mail things out to you. You've been watching the news the night before, and it says there's 100% chance we're gonna have this terrible snowstorm the next day, and you think, oh my gosh, they don't have my new phone number. If you get on at 11 p.m. and change your phone number, you're not gonna get the call the next day, because it's gonna take us you're gonna have to give us about a week so that we can get everything on all the systems changed. So don't change it the night before the snowstorm and then think you're gonna get the call, because you won't get the call. All right, we do have our Facebook group for the 21-22 new Enid Public Schools teachers. There's been an occasion that we've had some questions asked on there that we try to get answered. We try to drop important information that pertains just to you guys in there. So if you are not a member of that, please request to join that and we'll get you on there. Then, of course, in today's world, we have to talk a little bit about dress code. Enid Public Schools is really pretty generous, but what your idea of dressed for success may not be your administrator's idea of dressed for success. That does happen. So your administrator, I'm sure at their first meetings, will go over a little bit more about what they expect at their sites for the staff for their dress. Teachers shall refrain from any style of dress, hairstyling, or personal grooming that might subject the faculty or school to undue criticism. That's pretty much our policy. We ask that we not wear t-shirts every day, immodest blouses and bottoms. I used to tell my teachers, if you don't want to see mine, I really don't want to see yours. So, think of that when you're looking in the mirror that morning. Shorts, the only ones wearing shorts are PE teachers, coaches. They are allowed to wear shorts. Blue jeans, your principals will have some different viewpoints they'll let you know about blue jeans. Some of the principals will let you wear blue jeans on Mondays with your school shirts, and then we all wear blue jeans on Fridays with our Enid colors, because we have Go Big Blue Fridays. So if you don't own an Enid shirt yet, Kinley will be at Convocation tomorrow, and she sells really cute Enid shirts. Also, we have our downtown store by the ballpark, and she has some really cute shirts in there too. Or just wear blue, because I know it's a while for new teachers before you get paid. So just wear something blue. Your principal will let you know if they want you to wear blue jeans on Mondays with your school shirts or school colors. I, as a principal, asked my teachers, because we usually had parents in the building on those Mondays because we were doing big assemblies where parents were welcomed. I asked mine to wear khaki pants, capris, something different than blue jeans. So every principal's gonna be just a little bit different. Sweat bottoms, unless you're a coach gonna be outside, probably better not. So we've got a little graphic here. So take a minute to think, what is she going to X out? Were you right? Crocs are really comfortable. Maybe on Fridays with your Enid High Blue if you have a blue pair of Crocs, but on a regular basis, maybe not so much. Your Bugs Bunny favorite t-shirt, probably not every day of the week. Or some of the others that have graphics, your favorite marijuana leaf shirt, probably shouldn't wear to school. So we wear our jeans and we wear our school shirts and we wear our Go Big Blue that we are very proud of. The reason we do Go Big Blue is because we all feed into one high school. We all turn into Pacers and Plainsmen once we hit high school. So we want to encourage our littles to be excited about going to Enid High School and being a Pacer or a Plainsman. Chromebooks and IDs. Everyone should have received their welcome letter. Has anybody not picked up their Chromebook or their ID yet? All right, so make sure you get that scheduled with Adina so that you can get your IDs done. Those IDs get you in and out of your buildings, so that's important that you don't have to walk all the way around the school sometimes from the parking lot. EnidPublicSchools.org. That is our district website. There's all kinds of information on there. If you log on to Enid Public Schools website, the header looks like that, and this tab way down over here, Staff Resources. Staff Resources is where you're going to be able to find your contract. It's also, if you're at home and you're on your personal home computer and you think, oh, I always click on Clever. How do I get to that municipal accounting system so I can see my pay stub for tomorrow? And I always do it at school. Well, if you go to Staff Resources, there's a Clever startup page. So you can get to anything on Clever through your phone, through your home computer, by using that Staff Resources. Staff Resources is also where you're going to find the required certified professional development. Tomorrow you will get an email that tells you we have our professional development, certified professional developments ready for you to watch, and then there will be a task in Talent Ed Records that you have watched all of the certified professional development. You know where to find it, you're aware of how to do child abuse reporting, you're aware of bloodborne pathogens. All of those good things are for you to watch at any time between now and September 15th, and then you'll get on and sign off on that task that you have watched all of that professional development. So, at the end of today, you can get on and click that you have been to a certified benefits meeting. Do we have any questions before I turn it over to Sam? All right, Mr. Robinson is going to talk to you about some of the things that are in your packets. Most importantly, health insurance and pay. Sam Robinson is our Chief Financial Officer for the district.
All right, we're going to move pretty quick through this because this is really just your paycheck, how that all works, kind of your insurance. And so once we kind of get finished, if there's any questions, we can definitely answer those for you. But before I get started, there's somebody in the back I need to introduce you to. That is Lynette Rice. She has that real funny look on her face because she thinks I'm going to make her come up here and actually speak to you all, but I'm not doing that. Just make sure you see her before you leave today because you do have to sign up with her to either accept benefits or deny benefits. So I don't want to forget to make that announcement. All right, we're going to go through this salary schedule-wise. Our salary schedule is negotiated. We are a negotiated district, and so that's been finalized. It's done. There are years where sometimes it's not done by now, but thank goodness that's the case, and we are ready to go. I'm going to give you guys kind of an example of how we go through things, but first, let me talk to you about how our pay is. We divide our pay over 12 months. You get that pay on the 20th of every month, unless the 20th falls on a weekend or a holiday, then you get it the day prior to that. The one thing to remember is that two of your last 3 payrolls come on the last 2 working days of May. So when you go to your May bank account and you look at it and you go, oh my gosh, look at all this money the school district just dumped on me. Well, that's because you're actually getting your July and August paycheck those last 2 working days in May. And then your June paycheck will come to you on June 20th like normal. So make sure you're prepared for that. Make sure you don't think the district gave you a huge bonus to go into summer and you're still going to get July and August. Be prepared to not get those checks come July and August. So this is your reminder. Another reminder will go out at the end of the year, but it's just an important thing to remember of how we kind of do pay, because other districts do pay it out each month. We're one of the districts that we pay it out at the end of May. All right, the example we're going to use is a first-year teacher. This first-year teacher, the base salary for this teacher is $37,432.49. They also have a yearbook stipend, that gets added to their salary, $700. And so their total annual salary is at $38,132.49. We divide that by 12, their base gross is $3,177.71 a month. Now, there's a lot of different things that can impact somebody's monthly salary, and it's all kind of the deductions, where's your tax base at, where do you fit in, all those things. But this is just a very plain, raw example of how your pay is calculated. District paid contribution. The district, Enid, we pay 100% of your retirement contribution. There are other districts, they'll tell you we pay 9.5% of your retirement. Every district has to pay 9.5% of your retirement. The employee is, as a certified teacher, you're required to pay 7.5. The district pays that 7.5% for you. So you can see in this example, we actually have to pay more than 7.5 because we have to pay retirement for the retirement, which is that 269 that you see at the end of the 0.075269. We multiply that by your $37,000 salary as a first-year teacher. That comes up to another $2,800 that again gets tacked onto your salary. You really don't see it because it goes on your salary and it comes right back out and it goes to pay your retirement. So that's where your total district compensation is $40,250. If you're in a district that didn't pay that for you, then your 7.5% would come out of that $37,000, and so you could actually reduce your salary by another $2,800. So that's the benefit of having your retirement paid for you. And a lot of people, they don't quite understand that, but this is really the simplest way to kind of explain it's your money, it's your retirement. We just pay it for you, you just don't see it on your check because it has to come out. Here's that district portion that I was talking about, the 9.5%. The district also contributes another 9.5% because we're required to, so that's another $3,800. And then of course we have the matching FICA that comes off of that, so another $3,000. So you can see the district almost has another $7,000 invested in each employee above your salary, above your retirement contribution. This is all that backside stuff. So when everybody talks about a teacher's salary being $40,000, remember there's another $7,000 on the backside of it for this first-year teacher that a lot of people aren't aware of. So this is just informational. This really doesn't matter to you guys overall, but I think it's important to understand in the long haul how teacher pay works in Oklahoma. All right, the reason you have to see Lynette is because every certified teacher gets their insurance paid for them. So you get an insurance benefit of $615.90 a month. If you don't take the insurance, you don't get the $615. You get the cash option, which is $69.71 a month. It's not our rule, it's just how it comes from the state. So that's the part you have to see Lynette about. That's what you have to talk to American Fidelity about, is to either accept this benefit or deny this benefit. And then the other part of it is you want this benefit, this $615, to come out pre-tax. You do not want to pay taxes on this $615, and that's why you want to participate in the 125 plan to do that. If you don't participate in it, this $615 can be taxed as income, and there's no reason to pay income tax on free money that the state's giving you. All right, the district covers you for workers' comp. So if you do decide to wear Crocs to work and you trip and fall, like we had somebody do last year, that could be a workers' comp claim. So don't wear Crocs, because I don't want to have to go to court with you for wearing Crocs, tripping and falling, and it's a work comp claim. But you would be covered under that benefit if that was to happen. Wouldn't come out of your health insurance. The other part of it is we have district liability insurance of $1 million for every employee. So if something happens in a classroom, you get accused of something and you're working within the confines of your job, you're covered up to $1 million on that liability policy. And then of course, like Jane said, every employee gets 10 sick days a year. Those days are given to you the first day you show up to work. So if everybody was here on Monday, everybody gets their 10 days of sick leave automatically given to them. All right, Section 125 plan. This is your tax sheltering. This is where you can run if you want vision insurance, if you want dental, if you want a life insurance policy. All this runs through the 125 plan. It basically it tax shelters your money for you guys, so that way you're not paying income tax on those different policies you might have. And that's what you have to see Lynette for. American Fidelity, they manage our 125 plan, so you're going to sign up with Lynette but you're going to meet with an American Fidelity rep. American Fidelity has lots of different policies. They have a lot of different plans. It can be a little overwhelming if you just walk in there without doing some of your homework before you go in, and they'll try to possibly sell you something you may not need. But you really need to know what you want when you go in there. You need to be ready to ask the questions you want to ask. Don't just go in there and be like, well, they just told me to show up, here I am. Be prepared when you go in there. I'm not saying you have to be an expert by any means, but you want to go in there with an idea of what it is you're wanting to get out of the insurance benefit packages that American Fidelity offers. All right, the 125 plan is the flexible compensation plan. Then there is a 403B. And a 403B, everybody knows about a 401K, but in the school business, we operate with a 403B. We don't match your 403B. We don't put any extra money in there as a school district. That's your money that you can set aside for an annuity that will pay back to you later when you get to retirement age, set aside those funds. And so it reduces your overall tax burden once again. And that's something some people are interested in, some people, they don't really have any care for that, but it is an option that you can do with your payroll as well. All right, 403B rules. You have to keep that money in there till you're 55, so that's one of the things. Once you start contributing it, remember, you really don't get to touch it again until you're 55. If you take it out before then, you will pay a pretty stiff penalty on it, and it could cost you more than the tax sheltering that was available. $25 a month, that's the minimum contribution. Maximum contribution is $19,500 a year. And so that has not changed in 2 years now. And so we have several providers of 403Bs. You can talk to American Fidelity. Lynette can help you with some of those things if you need that information. But it's a pretty simple process if that's something you want to participate in. All right, this is my final slide, and this is about insurance. And this is really where I want people to really think about what they're doing, because you get that $615 every month given to you if you use insurance. If you don't, you get the $69. The insurance has several options. There are people that have a lot of health issues, they have a lot of things they need to go through, so you really need to look at those plans and make the choice that's best for you, because it is a choice you have. You don't have to just take the health choice high and be done with it, and they take your $615 and you're done. This is my example, and the reason I show it to you is because I don't take just a health choice high. I utilize one of the options to actually give me some money back. And so, but again, my health, I'm a pretty healthy individual. I may not look like it all the time, but I'm pretty healthy. I don't go to the doctor but maybe once or twice a year. So I do the high deductible plan. And I know that I've set aside enough money that if something major was to happen to me, I could cover that high deductible out of my pocket. And so what I do is I do the high deductible plan. It costs me $422. So you take your $615.90, I take $422 out of that. Then I pay for my family's dental. It's $25.14 a month, so I take that out of that $615. And then because I'm in a high deductible plan, I participate in a health savings account, which a health savings account is not like a flex benefit account. A flex benefit account is where you put the money in and you have until January to spend all that money out for eyeglasses, prescriptions, whatever it is you have, medical costs. If you don't spend it, you lose it. In my health savings account, I actually get to roll that over year after year after year, and if I ever stop participating in this plan, that money in that health savings account is still mine. It's on like a little debit card that I can pay doctor's bills with. I can do whatever I want. One of the examples I use on this is there's a gentleman in our community. He's not in the school district. He actually contributes to his health savings account to pay for his retirement home when he gets to be that age. That's what he's doing with it. His goal is to get about $120,000 in there, and then that's going to be his pay for his long-term health care when he gets to be that age. So that's how long it will last for. So in the end, I'm left with $18.50 a month that comes into my paycheck. It's taxable. I don't get to defer the tax on that $18.50. That's not much, but you know that I can take my 2 kids to McDonald's and get them a Happy Meal or something with that every month. So just the reason I give this to you guys is because this is truly where, as an educator, you get to make a choice on how you want health insurance to work for you, and you get to choose how that $615 can either work to your benefit, or if you take one of the higher choices, there's some health plans in there that they're more than the $615, but really that extra cost is worth it to those individuals because of some of the other medical issues they have going on in their lives. So really take the time, look those things over, really pay attention to this, and be ready to talk to American Fidelity. And if you really go into American Fidelity and you're like, hey, I just want to do this 125 plan, I just need the insurance, it's okay to walk in there and say that to them. You can walk in there and say, hey, I'm just here to take for their insurance, I don't need any other products, sign your paperwork and leave. But again, you need to go in there prepared for that meeting. So I'm going to let you guys ask any questions that you might have. If you just want to come see me individually, if you want to ask them as a group, it doesn't matter. Make sure you see Lynette before you leave. She needs to sign up. If you didn't bring your IDs, make sure you get that taken care of as well, because we want to issue payroll. And some of you have signed up for the 13-month payroll, which is for new employees. So if you haven't completed that, please make sure you've gotten all of that done as well. 13-month payroll works like this. We basically take your pay, and instead of dividing by 12, we divide by 13. So you get your first paycheck this month in August on the 20th, and 1/13 of your pay.
Even though you got a paycheck last day of the month of May.
That's right. And so next year, like when we get to May of 22, you'll get another August paycheck that'll be 1/13 of your total pay. So we just take your pay, instead of dividing by 12, we divide by 13. It's a help because a lot of new people come into education. The last check they received was in July, and the next check they're going to get is in September. And to go almost 2 months without a paycheck, that's a really long time. So it's a way to help people out. And it's a 1-year deal. It gets you back on the 12-month cycle your second year in the school district. Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
This still becomes my first.
Health choice is primary, yes. If you're, I'm glad you said that. If you're, this happens in military a lot. On military with TRICARE, you do not want to exercise this option. Take your cash, be done, because TRICARE will make this be your primary, and then TRICARE becomes your secondary, and you will lose money by doing that. So thanks for bringing that up. Yes, ma'am. You can, yes, you can do that. Yeah, you have to prove health insurance. Okay, yes, sir.
Did you take all 690 of that and put it in the health savings account?
You cannot. You have to have a health insurance on there in order to do that. Yeah. That'd be great if they'd let us do that, though. Yeah. Okay, if that's it, you guys take care of what you need to. I'll be in the back. Remember to see Lynette, and it's going to be an awesome year. We're not wearing masks, so that's what I'm really excited about. So.